voice of accusation.
Mm-hmm.
You're not, but you can become.
Right. Which quickly becomes condemnation.
It's condemnation, fear,
Yeah.
and then it's
Boom.
clothing yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we can have compassion on them and realize the great suffering that comes to their heart in the face of that. Because we can see the dynamic.
Right.
And we can see the dynamic for all people. See, because all people have faced that in one degree or another. The identity of man was come against by the devil. And he comes against all people to destroy their identity and their value and worth. And he comes against each one of us in a different way, or whatever way he can.
Right.
But he come to attack all human beings.
Sure.
This world hates all human beings.
Right.
The system in this world hates all human beings.
That's a profound statement.
Now, the thing is, some have been playing patty cake with the system. And so it looks as if they're getting along real good in the system. Do you see what I'm saying? With the physical eyes, it can look like they're reaping the benefit of the system. Well, guess what? That system's going to work in them. Death. It's going to kill them. Is it going to give them glory and immortality? Nimrod looked like he was really benefiting from the system.
That's right. Yes.
He died. And he's going to die eternally.
Yeah.
He returned to the dust of the ground. He's going to be dying eternally. He's going to have death eternally. Now, does it look like it worked out well for him? So we have this perverted view from the carnal mind that some people are benefiting from the system.
Yeah.
No, they're not. The system brings death to everyone.
Everyone. Yeah.
The system brings death to everyone. The system in the world is against every human being. It's just that some human beings have worked the system enough through their intellect, through their mighty strength or whatever, to where it looks like they're getting along okay. They're called mighty men of renown in the Bible.
That's right.
Giants in the earth.
That's right. Yes.
I mean, Cain looked like the system in the world was for him. He built the first city.
Right.
The system in the world wasn't working for him. He's in bondage to death, to laboring and toiling.
Yeah.
And so it can help us to realize that the system in the world is against all people. All people.
Yeah. That really is helpful. Because it's so easy to slip into, well, it's just those folks. But it's everybody.
And that even that mind creates division.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And it's actually a much, and I don't know if safer is the right word, but it's a better thought to understand that it is against everybody. Because then you can look across everybody and regardless of where they are, what they're doing, understand that, well, they may not be suffering now, but the world will get them.
Yeah. And we can help each other by being aware of this dynamic, because when we can see the way the world comes against our brothers and sisters in a unique way, we can stir them up by way of remembrance of Christ and Him crucified. We can instead of thinking, well, what's wrong with them? Why are they fighting for this? Why don't they just wrestle? We can see the tremendous temptation. Jesus is not busy thinking, why are they tempted to fight? Why are they tempted to fight for their rights? And all? He understands. And so we could recognize that by seeing it as the system against all people, instead of seeing it as only against some people, because then we can see the different aspects that come against us in different ways, and we can be there for each other, to remind each other of the word of immortality that was made flesh in Jesus, so that we can see that our rights have already been fought for, and Jesus has won our right to life, and no one can take it from us. So we don't have to function as if it can be taken from us. And we can remind each other of that when we're standing in the face of tremendous opposition in this world, trying to beat us down, trying to degrade us, trying to belittle us, trying to make us think that we have to fight for our glory and honor. We can remind each other, because we can function from compassion. We can understand how that could be.
Yes, right. That's huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the serpent wants to get people separated. We're different than them.
Right.
He wants you to think that there's a temptation that's uncommon to man and only common to you. Listen, that's what he wants you to think.
Yeah, right.
Because then he gets everyone else that doesn't have the temptation you think you have as the others. And now you're against them, you're pitted against them. Then you begin, no one knows, no one understands. We might not understand that exact dynamic, but that exact situation, but we understand the exact dynamic in a completely different way.
Right.
It's the temptation common to man.
Right.
It's not uncommon to some people and common to other people.
Right.
There's one temptation.
Yeah.
Prove you have glory.
Yes.
Prove you have honor. Establish your value and worth. Fight for it. Don't you see them coming against you?
Yeah.
We've all been tempted to do that.
That's right.
Every single one.
Yeah. Just look at the homosexual community. That's really a powerful driver
Absolutely.
in that. Yeah.
And why do you think we have all this stuff now with gay marriage?
Yeah. I have
They're fighting to prove their value and worth.
That's correct.
I'm just as valuable as a straight person.
Right.
And they're fighting to prove it because they're living by the flesh.
Yep.
If you're fighting to prove your rights and you have fighting for equality through the flesh, you're believing in the glory that is of the flesh.
Yes.
You're seeking to be clothed upon with the glory that is of the flesh.
Right.
Yes.
You're knowing yourself according to the flesh, though.
Mhm.
You're knowing yourself according to the life that's in the world.
Yeah. Which temporarily may not be a bad thing,
No.
right? Temporarily, it may
Right.
feel pretty good. It may look pretty good, right? But eternally, it sucks.
Listen, absolutely. If I would have won those gold medals and broke all those world records, I guarantee you there'd have been a time where I'd have been le bon temps roulette.
You bet.
Let the good times roll.
Yeah.
And maybe even for a whole year, I would have felt like I did it. I clothed myself with glory and honor. I'm a mighty man of renown. Hallelujah. I've reached the top. And then after a year, I'd have been like, oh, man. What am I going to do now?
Now what?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
else?
Now what?
And there's a glory that's of the flesh, and there's a glory that's of God. And guess what? The glory of the flesh will never clothe upon you. It's like the emperor's clothes.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
yeah,
think
yeah.
you're clothed, but
Yeah,
you ain't
that's right.
clothed. And pretty sooner or later,
Marching around the calendar.
sooner or later, you're going to realize, oh, I'm still naked.
That's right.
The second someone comes along and tells you, oh, you're naked, dude. What do you think? You think those gold medals meant something?
Yeah.
It means nothing, man. You're naked still.
Oh, goodness.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Yes.
does. It does. Anybody online have any comments or thoughts?